If you're ready to cut to the chase and want to just know how you can get to the place where you're putting on muscle and feeling your best in your body in perimenopause, then this is the episode for you. Tune in to learn where to start if you're wanting to put on muscle in perimenopause, how long it takes, and why muscle is like money in perimenopause. Let's get started. What's up, sister? Welcome back to the Period Whisperer podcast, the show helping perimenopause and menopause women de-stress your body and decode what it's saying to you so you can own your own health, energy, and weight loss again. If you're new, I'm so happy you're here. I'm Bria. I'm your host, a recovering people pleaser and hustle addict turned functional and holistic hormone specialist. Let's lean in and learn what your body is saying to you. Hey, sister. Welcome back to the Period Whisperer podcast. I'm so glad that you are here. How are you feeling in your body today? I will tell you right now, I am like in my luteal phase. Like just 2 days ago, I just kind of felt that quieting, that fatigue a little bit set in, that, I don't know, like a little less tolerant to everything that we know kind of comes with this phase. And although I think there is so much we can do to support our body, there is this natural rhythm to what we have going on in our years of puberty up until we achieve menopause that, still rides this wave. And I think the best thing we can do instead of trying to fight it is, of course, create these health foundations, support the body, make sure there's no like links or chinks in our armor here. But I think the best thing we can do is understand it, have some self-compassion, and start to work with our body in that flow. But that's not what this is about. I just wanted to preempt this episode with that. So for any of my sisters out there who are feeling less than stellar today and you are in that luteal phase, I feel you. And if you are not, if you are rocking it in your follicular ovulatory phase, then good on you. I'm very happy for you. I hope that you are embracing that moment and accomplishing things. But if you're where I'm at, I hope you are going a little slower, saying no a little more, nourishing that body a little bit more, because we have such a greater demand on our body in this time. And when the body is saying, hey, now slow down, we got to listen. And the best part is that we can put our foot on the gas in those other phases. If our body is healed, we have this amazing capacity to really go hard in those other weeks. But this is a time to kind of be more quiet, think things through a little bit more, cross your T's and dot your I's and go to bed a bit early and do a little extra self-care. But today, I wanted to talk most specifically about the 5 steps for the best health, vitality, and body in perimenopause. And I'm sure if you are not new to the podcast, sister, you probably have heard me talk about a lot of these things, but it comes from a different place. I am asked a lot about what workouts I do, how I've built the body that I have. I have people say things, ask me about how I eat, what I do, what workouts I'm doing. And I get that for sure. And I think it's always great to learn from what other people are doing. But here is I don't think it should be a jagged little pill to swallow. I think it's an important one that we start to wrap our head around and take down with a teaspoon of honey, not sugar. The body I have today, the muscle definition specifically, this was built like 5 years ago and even before that. Like same as any woman or even man that you see online or out in the world. What we are building, what we see right now, it did not happen overnight. And I'm going to talk about that, but I do want to address the fact that it is easier for men. They can put on muscle faster than us because, one, I think all fitness programs, all wellness, all even medical research has been done on men. So it hasn't really considered the female body, the female rhythm. And so we're always trying to fit a round peg into a square hole, which makes things take longer. And then we do have these hormonal shifts, and our hormones play a huge role in our ability to put on muscle. But it can feel really frustrating when we are thinking, I just want to put muscle, I want to have this lean, defined body, maybe we're starting to lose hope of that. And I don't want you to lose hope. You can absolutely have a lean and defined body at any age if that's what you're going for. Although I think most of my sisters right now are like, I just want to sleep through the night and feel better and not have a murder scene, period, and not want to kill everyone in my house sometimes. It can feel really frustrating when we want results yesterday. But I'm going to tell you right now, anything that is trying to sell you quick muscle and results, like physical outside results in perimenopause and beyond, isn't giving you the entire picture or considering where your body is even at, what it has been through, right? We are all here. And I see this even, I see this in all my one-on-one clients. I see this in myself. I see this in my friends. I see this in my group coaching clients in Midlife Mojo. We all are at different starting points, right? We're at different health debts in our body. And that really impacts the speed at which change happens for us. And that debt, that health debt that we have, has everything to do with how much health we've spent in our life, how much health we've built, just like a bank account, just like money. I really feel like building muscle or energy in our body is just like money and debt and investing. All of these things can really align. Muscle, which does increase the body's resiliency. It increases our hormones, our metabolic rate to burn fat. It's crucial for aging. Well, it requires time, right? It requires the right nutrients, available nutrients in our body. It's not just enough. I have a lot of clients I see they're eating really, really well. And I was like this too, but things are not going the way they should be when we're eating really well. And if there is something off in the body, in the gut, if we're not breaking things down and absorbing these nutrients, I mean, it's great that we're not eating junk because that just causes more trouble, but we're not getting this beautiful nutrients that we're putting in our bodies. So we need to kind of fix those pieces. But the right nutrients, available nutrients, hormones, a capable body, stress, sleep, all of these things have to go right. But the body is magical. It will perform if given the right environment. And of course, that environment was way more available to us when we were younger, even if it wasn't perfect, because we had way less demand. Like, think back to your 20s compared to now in your 40s or 50s or 60s, whoever's listening to this. Think about the demand on your life, the things you had to worry about, the things you were thinking about, the responsibilities you had every day. It was way less. And not only that, our supply chain in our bodies at that point was so much more efficient, right? We had less damage to the gut, less backed up detoxification. And of course, like now, less workload, since perimenopause creates that demand, right? With the shifting hormones. So in our 20s and 30s, there was a lot less demand on the body, and the path to creating supply in the body was a lot better. So we could get away with doing these programs that are designed for men, or these calorie deficit ways of living, or these intense workouts, or these things that were getting us results and helping us like see change in our body. We were getting away with that. But that is no longer here. Now we need to recognize and honor our body. I really look at it like, if you think of the head as like the CEO, the real strategic boss here, the body is the COO, the real like operations boss. And they have to work together. But if the CEO is always telling the COO to do crazy things that the COO is now burnt out and doesn't have the energy and doesn't have the skill, or doesn't have the workers or the help or the resources to carry out, what's the COO going to do? It's either going to quit or it's going to go on strike. And this is what happens in our body a lot in perimenopause. The body's a little fed up with the dictatorship happening of the brain, telling us, let's do this, let's push through, let's try this, let's go here, and not listening to the feedback of the body, listening to what the body needs and its resources. So it was way more available to us then. Now here we are. And if you want a strong, muscle-defined body, you need to be setting 5-year goals, right? We need to let go of this instant gratification, of this thought that we should be seeing results in our body in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks even, although you will see changes in your body when you make these right things and you look for them in the right place. But if we let go of that expectation and recognize that the engine you are building is an inside out job. So if we want to get to that outside part, it's going to take a few years, right? A lot of focus, a lot of consistency. I don't feel like it has to be hard. I think when we make these decisions every day that build up, then eventually we're able to get to that point where we're really seeing that change. And you know what? Like you can actually, well, here's what else I'll say. The good news, because I feel like I just dropped a negative bomb. Like I am sitting here telling you don't expect to see changes in your body in the next 5 years, which is not true. Just don't expect to be able to have this massive transformation right now. We really grossly underestimate what we can accomplish over time and overestimate what we can accomplish in a small amount of time. So think about building muscle specifically as something that's going to take a few years. But here's the good news. The energy, the vitality, the health required to build that muscled body you want to see 5 years from now, that stuff was built yesterday. That stuff was built today. That stuff is built tomorrow. This stuff is much more instant gratification. You can see this when you have a bender or a birthday or something in how you feel, right? Maybe you can get away with like one night of like having fun and drinks with your friends. But if you go and have a few days of poor eating, poor sleeping, you're going to really start to notice that right away in your energy. And the opposite is true. When you are eating well, when you are prioritizing your sleep, when you are working on that stress management, when you are saying yes to these key foundational health pillars that we have, you see results, you feel results in your body if you're paying attention in days, like 3 days. Likewise, the opposite, right? If you make the wrong decisions, you're going to notice that within 1 to 3 days. If you make the right decision, you're going to notice that within 1 to 3 days. So we get the vitality, the energy, the health started, that engine started in the things that we are doing right now and the choices that you are making today for your meals, for your energy. And that should be exciting because that's the instant gratification that we're looking for. Look for the small wins in those places, and those will build up to more energy that you can then invest in building this muscle. Because all of those things have to go right, in order to build the muscle. And it takes time. And in fact, it takes a little longer time as we get older, which we don't love to hear, but is just true. This is no different than money. Like, sure, you may have a friend who caught lightning in a bottle when it comes to money and finances. But at 43, for me, the money that I have today, the money that I see my friends having today, has everything to do with what they were doing 5 to 10 years ago, right? What was your career? Do you like it? What were you investing in? Where were you spending your money? This is where we build wealth. And I really think of muscle like building wealth in our body, right? Because muscle allows us to live longer. It gives us a greater reservoir of energy, of stress management, of hormones, of everything that we need. So you really want to think about building this muscle that you want as a longer term investment for your body. And how do we get the money to build that, to invest in that longer term investment? How do we get that? Are these daily choices, right? In money, we look at our daily choices of, am I wasting money on this? Am I wasting money on that? How do I budget? In our health, is this food? Is this activity? Is this movement? Is this saying yes or saying no? Are these actions giving me energy or taketh it away? Like, what is happening here? And this is how simple it can be. We can bring it back down to this energy piece or this money piece. This is why it's so alike. And then, of course, once we build up that reservoir of money or energy, we're able to invest it. We're able to push our body in these stressful ways. So don't lose hope. I find like at 43, I had to start all over. I had been a stay-at-home mom, and then I built kind of a part-time business for a lot of years. And a few years ago, when I went through a divorce, I had to start all over in my career. And now, 5 years later, I'm doing well again. Like, I've got this. I've got money to invest. I have things to happen. And the same goes for your health. We need to kind of take stock of that and take care of the pennies so the dollars take care of themselves. You know what I mean? But we got to rejig this mindset. We got to rejig this perspective. If you want to have the best health, the vitality, the body that you want in perimenopause and beyond, we got to be thinking long term, not short term, not getting on that scale every day and being like, oh, I'm up or down, I'm this or that, and allowing it to ruin our mindset. We really need to rein it in and say to ourselves, like, is this providing health and vitality and energy? Is it taking it away? Because what I'm trying to do here is build this nest egg of energy so I can invest it. Right? We can gripe and groan if we're on a budget, like, oh, I can't do this, oh, I can't do that. Or we can start thinking, okay, it's okay. Look at how much I saved today. Look at how much I saved today. These are perspective changes that we really want to look at. So you can look at it in your money, which I'm sure we all should be doing at this age anyway. You can look at it in your health, but they both apply. If you want to have this muscled body, like the body that you have right now that you're looking at in the mirror, sister, what you see was built 5 years ago. So now you have a choice at however old you are. What do you want to see in the mirror in 5 years? Because the decisions you're making today are what is going to build that 5-year body. So how do we start, right? Because you can start today. You can feel better in 3 days to a week. Relish in that. Know the truth and set these expectations correctly. So here are your 5 steps. I want to lay them out, and I will tell you there is no other way. This is the most direct way. You can try to go around it, over it, under it, but this is the lion hunt. Can't do those things. We got to go through it. So let's take a deep breath. Let's change that perspective. Get excited about the energy we are saving in our body and the body we are building 5 years from now, right? And then we can take joy in that. So number 1, we always, just like with finances, we need to stop doing the things that cost your body more energy than they provide. We need to cut out the things that aren't serving you and create the basic foundations of health. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, how old you are, or what you've got going on in your life. Everyone has the same foundations of health. Every human body, and animal body for that matter, needs sleep, quality sleep. It needs movement. It needs nutrition. It needs stress management. Every body needs these things. These are the basic foundations. You can't cut corners here, right? Show me someone that you know in your 40s, 50s, or 60s with energy, with vitality, with success, and a great body who does not prioritize sleep, some form of stress management, quality nutrition, and movement. They don't exist. There's not even unicorns here. These are foundational pieces. And the sooner we accept these foundational pieces, the faster we can get to the results that we want. Step number 2, build your energy supply, right? So I think about this again as like increasing our salary. Build your energy supply, the right fuel mixture. Finding your nutrition, paying attention for a couple of weeks to say, is this enough food to keep me full and satisfied? Do I have gut health issues? Like, am I feeling gassy in between? Is my energy tanking after this? Our food is what provides that for us. And if you are crushing that, or you feel like you are, but you are still not feeling better, there's your big red flag. Your big red flag that you need to move into step number 3. But before I get to step number 3, I want to come back to this building your energy supply. The right fuel mixture is really critical. Deeper sleep, so creating an environment for you, prioritizing figuring this one out over a couple of weeks. And again, if you can't do it, you know to get help. It's a critical piece of the puzzle. And purpose. Purpose is so important. Purpose is our soul food. It's the thing that gives us energy outside of us, that brings energy in, right? Sleep gives us energy. Good food gives us energy. And purpose gives us energy. And however that is, maybe you take purpose in raising your children. Maybe you take purpose in building a beautiful home. Maybe you take purpose in your career the way I definitely do. Where is your purpose coming from? That's a really important one. Maybe you have a deep purpose with a connection to something bigger than you. There's a lot of ways we can get purpose, but we got to have it. So this is how we build that supply. We increase that income in the body. Step number 3 is to fix the kinks and leaks in your energy supply chain. And we do this with functional testing. And this is different than getting your blood tests done with your doctor. I wish we could do this. I wish these were standard tests for everyone. But you want to think about serum tests or blood tests as one, it's looking for specific problems, right? And perimenopause isn't a specific problem, right? We have a lot of little problems at perimenopause. So there's no specific problem that's going to come up. You don't have a disease. We're in this situation. But our blood is like a social media reel. It's like you on your best day, right? We're always showing the highlight reel of our life. That's what our blood shows us. It's not showing us what's down below in the surface. So we really want to understand beyond the levels of a hormone or beyond the levels of, what's coming out in a colonoscopy, what is happening with the function, with the garden of your gut, with the flow of your hormones, where they're coming through, how is the messaging going to them? How is the messaging? Where's the path that they're leaving your body? That's where most of the problems come from. So take the time to do this lab work. Find someone, I could be that person, or find someone that can do this for you and invest this time in yourself. Someone that's going to explain it to you, that's really going to help you understand so that you know your body. There's nothing more empowering than knowing your body. Number 4, 10x your energy by eliminating toxins in your life. This is sort of my big focus these days, is really looking at my water, my air, my products, everything that I spend a lot of time touching and doing and thinking over. How is that impacting my body? Now that I have my nutrition sorted, it's like, how is this other stuff? Is it providing energy? Is it taking energy away? So we really want to take a good look at that and rounding out that soul food, right? That purpose, looking at the leaks and the stressors in your life and figuring, how do I turn these stress faucets down? And finally, at this stage, you will have more energy. We're at this beautiful point right now at the time of this recording in my group coaching program, MIDLIFE MOJO, where people are ready to work out. They're like, I have the energy. They might not have the time. That's always a different challenge, but they have the energy to invest. And so we want to work out. We're excited to work out. Our workouts no longer tank us. This is when we start to build that body that's going to come. This is when we start to be able to get results fast because all of the other foundations have been laying. This is your 5-year plan, sister. Exactly what I just took you through. And this is exactly what I take my one-on-one clients through and what I take my clients through in MIDLIFE MOJO, which, spoiler alert, there is a Black Friday sale coming up. Make sure you are on the wait list. You can click the link in the show notes and join the wait list so that you do not miss this very short 4-day window where you are getting access to these 5 steps, including functional lab work for you, metabolic typing, support, coaching, live time together. So do not miss this. It will close after 4 days and it'll open at full price in January when it actually launches. I only run this program twice a year, so get on the wait list. Or listen, if you are like, I need all the testing, I want one-on-one help, make sure you schedule your free call today. All right, sisters, you know the steps. We're shifting this mindset to recognizing what can change today, what's possible today, and what am I building towards in this 5-year plan. Go out, be more in your life, and not just less on a scale, because this time is going to be the best time. We'll catch you next time. Thank you so much for joining me on the Period Whisperer podcast. If you liked this episode, take 30 seconds right now to write a review on iTunes and then reach out to me directly on Instagram at Bria_period_whisperer and message me there with a screenshot of your review. As a thank you, I will give you a customized free hormone audit to get you on your way to the best health of your life in midlife.